As a single father, I'm cherishing a serene summer evening with my darling little girl, Emily. We're adjusting to our new life nestled in this tranquil suburban neighborhood. Over a warm plate of spaghetti, we excitedly chat about the forthcoming local community fair. Emily's eyes sparkle with excitement as she animatedly talks about the performances. The vibrant costumes, amusing antics, and captivating tricks of clowns have always intrigued her. But tonight, her innocent intrigue is about to lead us down a spine-chilling path. As the daylight fades, a disquieting figure comes into view at the fringe of our property. A clown. A stranger, not from the community fair, not from any party in the vicinity, but an isolated clown situated beneath the twilight's gloom, observing. Overwhelmed by a sense of unease, I realize this is only the inception of a night I would never forget. The encroaching darkness was accompanied by an unsettling spectacle. The clown began his eerie performance. Illuminated by the dim suburban streetlights, the figure danced along the sidewalk, moving with unnatural precision. It wasn't a chaotic display typical of clowns, but a bizarre ballet, strange gestures and mimics all aimed at Emily. Emily, my innocent and brave little girl, watched him with wide eyes, her laughter echoing in the still night. But for me, a sense of unease took hold. This clown was off. It wasn't just his unexpected appearance. Gathering all the courage I could muster, I stepped off my porch to confront him. "Excuse me," I managed to say, trying to keep my voice steady despite the gnawing fear. "Could you please leave? My daughter needs to get to bed." But there was no response. He continued his act, his painted face frozen in a disturbing grin. His attire struck me. It wasn't the vibrant modern style typical of clowns. It was old-fashioned, worn out, faded, as though it had been loved for decades. Things escalated when he began to juggle. Not balls or pins, but real gleaming knives. They spun in midair, casting menacing, distorted shadows on the ground. His gaze never left Emily, cold and unwavering. Emily's laughter and clapping filled the air, but my heart pounded with dread. A cold sweat broke out on my forehead as I watched the blade spin and twirl. Her innocent joy contrasted sharply with the clown's disturbing stillness, only amplifying my anxiety. As the knives flew, a spine-chilling shiver ran through me. The usual fun of a summer evening had morphed into a nightmarish scene, and I was struck by the realization that danger could be lurking even in the most unexpected places. Suddenly, the clown's performance took a sinister turn. My heart hammered in my chest as I quickly lifted Emily, her giggles ringing in my ears, completely unaware of the impending threat. I made a dash for the house, my hand trembling as I locked the door. Glancing out the window, I saw the clown, that grotesque figure in ragged attire, halt his show, but instead of departing, he started a measured, menacing stride towards our house, each footstep a chilling reminder of the fear. As he arrived at the edge of our lawn, he stooped and placed a single balloon on the ground. Unhurried and eerily calm, he turned and walked away, his figure fading into the dusk. I caught my breath as I deciphered the words scribbled on the balloon. "Sorry, wrong party." The clown had left a message, but what could it possibly mean? No sign of the clown was found by the police, leaving me with an unsettling feeling. The balloon, an eerie memento of the night's uncanny encounter, carried the ambiguous message, "Sorry, wrong party." It was a riddle that made my blood run cold. The evening had started with a simple chat about the local fair during dinner, but culminated in a strange performance by an unknown clown. It became clear to me that the world was steeped in mysteries, with danger often hiding in the most surprising places. With Emily nestled close to me, my heart raced as I emphasized the need for prudence. At times, explained to her, even the most vibrant and lively characters can conceal darkness beneath their cheerful exteriors. I vowed to be more watchful, to shield my precious girl from the world's uncertainties. Alone in the quiet darkness, I found myself pondering the thin boundary between harmless amusement and genuine danger.
What if I told you every carnival has a secret, a chilling, unforgettable secret? That's what I discovered as a 14-year-old living in a small, tightly knit community. A place where everyone knew everyone, and the annual carnival was the highlight of our year. Games, rides, the smell of popcorn and cotton candy in the air, the laughter and cheers of the crowd. It was all part of the magic that enveloped us every summer. But among all the excitement, one thing always stood out: the clown performance. A patchwork of colors, a painted smile that held a melancholic twist, a persona that was more intriguing than entertaining. It was as if he was part of a different story, a story that was about to unfold before my adolescent eyes, a story that would reveal a secret that still haunts me. The carnival, a place of laughter and joy, held an eerie secret that forever changed my life. Among the joy and laughter, there was one face that stood out, a face that wasn't quite right. Amidst the colorful merriment of the carnival, a peculiar clown, dressed in a patchwork of colors, drew our attention. His face, unlike the other clowns, bore a melancholic expression that contradicted the joyful atmosphere. His performance was unlike any other. His acts weren't just tricks and laughs. They were stories. Stories filled with a strange sadness that intrigued us. This was no ordinary clown. His performance was a spectacle, a peculiar spectacle that held us captivated. His melancholic face, his somber acts, the sadness that seemed to linger around him, everything about him was intriguing. He was a mystery that we wanted to unravel, an enigma that drew us in. And as the night grew darker, the intrigue deepened. The clown was unlike any other. His melancholic face and somber acts made him a spectacle, a peculiar spectacle. Curiosity, they say, is a powerful force. It led me to a place I should never have ventured. A melody, eerie yet fascinating, beckoned me away from the laughter and the lights of the carnival towards a secluded corner. There, tucked away, was the clown's trailer. Its door was slightly ajar, the melody seeping out into the cool night air. An inexplicable pull, like a moth to a flame, drew me closer. I hesitated for a moment, the laughter of my friends echoing faintly in the distance. But the intrigue was too much, the lure of the unknown too enticing. I pushed the door open further, peering into the dimly lit interior. The trailer was a curious mix of the mundane and the bizarre, filled with old photographs and strange music. Little did I know that this trailer held secrets that were better left undiscovered. Inside the trailer, secrets unfurled, each more chilling than the last. The walls, plastered with old, faded photographs, told a story of the clown's past. Each snapshot was marked with a year, some dating back decades, each featuring the clown with different families. A peculiar sense of timelessness hung in the air, making my heart race in my chest. Among the sea of faces, one photo gripped my attention. A boy, no older than 14, his features eerily similar to my own. The date on the photo, however, was from an era long before I was even a thought. The unsettling melody of the music box came to a halt, replaced by the heavy silence. In the mirror's reflection, I saw the clown standing behind me. His usual melancholic expression had darkened, his eyes boring into mine. "Every generation has a child who sees beyond the paint," he said, his voice as hollow as his gaze. The clown's words, "beyond the paint," still echo in my mind, a chilling reminder of the past. Fear is a powerful motivator. It was fear that led me to run that day. I stumbled out of the trailer, the clown's cryptic words echoing in my ears, his laughter a chilling soundtrack to my flight. The world spun around me, the bright colors of the carnival a stark contrast to the darkness I'd just escaped. The laughter of children, the cheerful music, the smell of cotton candy. It all felt so wrong. Like a surreal painting, the normalcy of the carnival was a stark contradiction to the fear gnawing at my insides. I was back amidst the crowd, but I felt more alone than ever. In the years that followed, I tried to forget, to dismiss it as a figment of my overactive imagination. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw those photographs, heard that eerie laughter. The clown, the carnival, they disappeared. But the memory, the fear, they never left.
Performing stand-up comedy at a nearly empty bar is a daunting task, particularly when the only audience is a solitary clown. I imagine myself under the bright spotlight, the weight of silence enveloping the room. In the shadows of the dimly lit bar, a solitary figure sits, A clown, fully adorned in his outfit, his painted smile never wavering. The air grows heavy with tension, a shudder running down my spine as I struggle to stay on track. Desperate to make this lone individual laugh, I toss out one joke after another, yet each bounces back, unacknowledged. I try to engage him, trying to lighten the mood by joking about his looks, his job. But the clown remains unmoved, his painted smile as still as ever, his silence only amplifying my anxiety. I am desperate to make anyone, even this solitary clown, laugh. I throw joke after joke into void of the bar, each one echoing back unanswered. I attempt to interact, to break the tension by making light of his appearance, his profession, but the clown just sits there, silent, his painted smile locked in place. In the realm of storytelling, the script we are dealing with today is already crafted in a first-person point of view. This perspective is a narrative mode where I, the narrator, am telling the story as it unfolds through the lens of my own experiences. A view is its intimacy, the direct connection I share with you, the listener, while I narrate my own thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. With this mode, my subjective experience is at the forefront. You are privy to the inner workings of my mind. Experience is at the forefront. You are experiencing the world as I perceive it. This point of view can provide a deeply personal touch to the storytelling experience. When I describe the world around me, it's not just about stating facts or painting a picture. It's about expressing how those facts make me feel, how the environment, my perceptions are conveyed to you in their raw, unfiltered form. In essence, it's about bridging the gap between the narrator and the listener. It pulls you into the story, makes you a part of it. You are not just an observer. You are a participant. You feel what I feel, see what I feel, see what I see, experience what I experience. To remember that this narrative mode has its limitations. Since you only know what I know, the story is confined to my interpretation of events. Yet this limitation also the suspense and mystery, keeping you on the edge, waiting for the next revelation. In conclusion, no changes are needed when the script is already in first-person point of view. We have the perfect recipe for a captivating tale, promising a unique and immersive experience. I stood up as the clown gestured for me to follow him to the stage. An icy shiver traveled along the length of my spine, causing a moment's hesitation. His attire, a patchwork of faded colors, was bizarre but fascinating. Intrigued and slightly fearful, I felt an inexplicable pull towards him, as if a strange force was compelling me, much like a hapless moth attracted to the searing flame. The patrons of the bar had become mere background noise, their chatter fading into insignificance as I followed the enigmatic performer. We returned to the stage, a dimly lit platform that had seen countless tales unfold. The clown took a seat solemnly in front of me, his painted eyes locked onto mine with an intensity that was disconcerting. His face was a canvas of emotions, each intriguing as the last. The silence that enveloped us was stark, punctuated by the soft creaking of an old wooden music box that he unveiled from his pocket with a flourish. With a flick of his wrist, he began to crank it. A soft, melancholic tune emerged, filling the air with its resonating notes. The melody was an enchanting paradox, beautiful yet tinged with sadness, touching delicate strings of my heart. It seemed to narrate a poignant, long-forgotten tale of glory that had faded into obscurity and dreams that had been left behind. The tune resonated throughout the bar, an eerie lullaby that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand. Then, I began to mimic myself, each word a twisted parody of my own routine. My voice, though muffled by my forced smile, was haunting. Every gesture, every expression, even my jokes were distorted reflections of my own act. My laughter, a hollow echo in the near-empty bar, was a grotesque mockery of the applause I yearned for. It was as if I was gorging on my own insecurities, my fear of mediocrity, and the looming dread of a failing career. I was trapped in a cruel caricature, a performer etched in the mirror of fear and doubt. The painted smile, unchanging, the eyes, never losing their fire, each jest a stab, each laughter a punch. I was immersed in this vicious cycle, not just a spectator, but a reflection, a distorted image of my fears and insecurities. I was not just but also the punchline. Every chuckle, every applause was a reminder of my own insecurities, a mirror reflecting my inner turmoil. Then it hit me, the realization like a punch to the gut. I was not just the entertainer on this stage, but also brunt of the joke. My laughter, cruel and mocking, seemed to echo my own insecurities. You run, the sound of his laughter echoing in your ears. The bar, once a radiant place filled with humor and companionship, has been turned into the embodiment of fear. Each cranny and nook seems to harbor an hidden, malevolent grin. As you flee through the exit, the biting cold of the night air slaps you, pushing away the heavy shroud of the disconcerting music. However, regardless of the increasing space between you and your former refuge, the clown's maniacal laughter appears to persist, a freezing symphony accompanying your desperate attempt to escape. You can't resist the involuntary urge to take a backward glance, half anticipating his disturbing visage, his painted smile forever etched. Surprisingly, your eyes only meet an abandoned bar, lights dimmed, the no longer playing. It's as if he had disappeared, evaporated into nothingness. Was the clown tangible or merely a creation of your overburdened psyche? You can't ignore the lingering sensation of being observed, an uncanny reminder of a night you would rather repress.